Just the other day, Donald Trump Jr. made the point that what he's been watching on television makes him fear for his sons. Watch.
And when I see what's going on right now, it's scary.
Who are you scared most for, your sons or your daughters?
I mean, right now, I'd say my sons. I mean, I want to bring my daughters up to be tough, but every situation is different. But I would hope that they would act if something terrible like that happened. But when the other side weaponizes it against men and says, 40 years later, we can bring it up, and you did something in high school that no one remembers, but it should disqualify you from ever doing anything again, it really diminishes the real claims.
Now, maybe you agree with that, maybe you don't. It's hardly a crazy point, though, and it might be worth talking about. But no, over on CNN, they took those remarks as a cue to once again attack an entire ethnic group on the basis of ethnicity. Watch this.
Every night, I cry myself to sleep over the fate of white men in America. White men have no power. White men, I mean, it's such garbage. If you sexually assault someone in high school, your life should be ruined. All this whining about the poor plight of white men is ridiculous.
You're hearing a lot of this filth recently, and it's wrong because racism is always wrong, no matter who it is aimed at. You should not attack people for their immutable characteristics, period. We've made that point consistently again and again over the past 2 years on this show. You shouldn't ever reduce people to their skin color because they're much more than that. You ought to treat people as individuals, unique human beings, not faceless members of a tribe sorted by hue. That's exactly the argument you could have made in 1960 against Bull Connor, and if we'd been there, we would have made that argument. It's the same argument we are making today. It was true then, it is true now, it always will be true. Now, you wouldn't think you'd have to say something that obvious in a developed country, one that literally has a statue of Martin Luther King on the National Mall. But we do have to say that. We have no choice. And for the crime of arguing against racism, we are denounced by the left as, yes, racists. Well, that's insane. In fact, it's Orwellian. It's the mirror image of the truth. But there is a reason that they are saying it. Our elites stoke race hatred in order to divide this country against itself. People are easier to control when they are divided into tribes sorted by color. It is that simple. It is also that evil, just like the racism they are peddling to you. We will never endorse that against any group at any time, period. Francey Hakes is a former DOJ National Coordinator for Child Exploitation, Prevention, and Interdiction, and she joins us tonight. Francey, thanks for coming on. Now, I know that you have worked in this field for so long, and that's why I wanted a reality check from you on some of these outstanding questions. And I want to say the obvious at the outset. I'm not impugning anyone's character or story, but I think it's fair to ask the most basic question, which is this a recovered memory or not? Are you aware that anyone has asked that question of Christine Ford?
Tucker, one of the things that disturbed me the most about the hearing last week were the questions that weren't asked by Rachel Mitchell. And that included anything about Dr. Ford's memories, the memories of the event, the memories of the events surrounding the event, the memories of giving information and paperwork to the Washington Post, what happened at her polygraph. It appeared to me that there were some memory questions asked that left a whole lot of other questions in limbo. We never got anything that would have helped us with the question of her memory and how it came about. You're so right about that.
So would it be an attack on a witness, on someone who says she's been a victim of a crime, to say, you say that this memory became significant to you in the course of a psychotherapy session 30 years after the fact. Did you remember all the details of it for the 30 preceding years? And if so, why did you not, if it defined your life, why did you not say anything to anyone else? Would that, do you think, be an attack on her, or would it be a legitimate question?
Well, Tucker, if you look at Twitter, any question of someone who alleges she's been assaulted is an attack. But I've put 5-year-old little girls on the witness stand who had to face withering cross-examination from men about whether or not they were telling the truth, how much they remembered, testing their memory at every turn, testing their credibility. 5-year-olds. So if they can do it, Dr. Ford can do it and should have done it.
So what does it tell you? And boy, that must have been tough. I mean, I definitely wouldn't want to do that, though I agree with you. It has to be done because due process demands it. But what does it tell you about how Christine Ford's advocates feel about her, that they believe that she cannot withstand and shouldn't have to withstand basic questions about her story?
You know, I mean, I don't know Dr. Ford. If I was Dr. Ford, I'd be insulted at someone saying I'm not tough enough to stand up and take questions about something that was seared into my memory and that I feel like I haven't gotten justice for. I mean, I'm not kidding about having put up 5-year-old little girls who have said, I want to testify, I want to tell the truth, I want him to go to jail. And they make that decision for themselves. To say that a grown woman can't make that kind of decision for herself insults all women. I'm insulted.
Well, I agree with that. I mean, you know, if you're going to... Right, I agree with that completely. Francey Hakes, thank you very much.